So you're interested in some lapel pins. Gotcha. There's a lot of cool things that you can do with lapel pins. We're going to be talking about enamel pins today. So with enamel pins, we've got two options there. You got soft enamel or hard enamel. General rule of thumb is soft enamel is a little bit more fun and whimsical. Hard enamel is a little bit more serious and somber. You can definitely do a fun pin with hard enamel, and you can definitely do a serious pin with soft enamel, but that's the general rule of thumb with that. Soft enamel is gonna be a little bit cheaper than hard enamel, so if cost is more of your concern, you're gonna go that route. What you wanna do is you wanna start with your design. So whatever you wanna do a band logo, you wanna do your event logo, whatever that is, take that, shrink it down to the size that you want it to be. Most lapel pins are gonna be about 1 inch. You can go a little bit bigger, you can go a little bit smaller if the design supports it, but you really don't want to go too much outside of 0.75 to 2 inches on average. If it's bigger than that, it's going to be a big hunk of metal. If it's smaller than that, you might be going, here's our lapel pin and here's your magnifying glass so you can see our logo. Nobody wants to do that. So whenever you're doing enamel pins, in essence, what you're doing is you're creating these tiny reservoirs wherever there will be color. That's how we make enamel pins. You create a little reservoir and you fill that with enamel. To that effect, any color does have to be solid. You can't do any kind of color gradient. It just doesn't work. There's no way to change colors in that reservoir. So solid colors. Think about the plating, because again, wherever two colors meet, you're gonna have a metal line separating those colors. So if you want black metal, if you want gold metal, silver, copper, that's gonna be part of the design that you do need to think about. Then you're gonna get a quote for that size, the style, the number of colors, it all goes into the pricing and everything. More colors, higher cost, smaller pin, lower cost, higher quantity, lower cost. So you get that, and then the company that you're working with should be providing you an art proof. If they don't provide you an art proof, don't do it. Not cool. You should see what you're gonna be purchasing. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask, and they should be able to go through it and explain it in a way that you understand it. And if you want to see any changes on the art proofs, they should be willing to do that. It's pretty easy once we have a first proof to make little changes here and there. Then you're gonna go through and make that final decision. If you need to, you can typically get samples. Again, if the company is a good company, they should be willing to do samples for your pen so you can see it before you purchase the full order. Especially if you're going with a high quantity, get samples first. You don't want to get 1,000 pins and go, oh no. Not a fun feeling, not cool. Don't do that. If you're not sure about what color metal to use, ask for different platings. And sometimes it might be a plating that you're not even thinking about. Copper is one of the most great looking platings that gets used so rare. Whenever we do it, everyone's like, man, that copper looks so cool. So ask about different platings and see that. Get a good understanding, because all of these things are custom. They don't exist until we make them. And once we make them, then they're there. So you want to have a good understanding before you go from theoretical to physical. And then you want to think about how you want to attach these. Most pins are going to have posts with clutches. Standard clutch is a butterfly clutch. You can do like a rubber clutch. You can do a deluxe clutch. If your pin is die-struck iron, you can also do magnet. So there's no holes in the clothing that you want to do that. So that's another option that's pretty cool. So you think about the backing that you're going to use, the attachment there. Once you have all of that done, then get the quote, get all the artwork, do all of that. Once that proof is good, you understand that proof. That's a really important part. You understand the proof. If you don't understand that, please be asking questions. Your rep should be able to answer those. Once you understand that, then you should be at a point where you can say, we want to do 100 of these, or we want to do samples and then 5,000 of these, and go through the process and do that. One other thing too is any metal areas in your design, they can be raised, they will have to be raised up above the enamel coloring. For that, you can do 2D or 3D. 2D is just a flat raise. You can have different levels in that flat raise. 3D is more of a rounded sculpted. Shapes, so the shape is going to determine the base metal that we use. And what I mean by that is if it's a normal shape, a uniform shape, nothing too crazy, it's typically going to be die-struck iron or die-struck bronze. If it's a very unique shape with a crazy outline and it's very complicated, those are generally going to be die-cast zinc. Not really much difference in the physical appearance of them, but there are some other implications, like die-cast zinc is not magnetic. So if you have a crazy shape and you want to do a magnet backing, okay, you can't do both with that. So it either has to be more of a uniform shape, so it can be iron, which is magnetic, or you can't do a magnet on there. Generally speaking, most companies, once you have everything done, finalized, payment received, artwork approved, we go into production. Normally we're looking somewhere around 3-ish, 4 weeks. With expedited shipping or rush production, sometimes you can get it a little bit under that, but that's a general rule of thumb. And for these projects, you really do want to take the time needed on the front end. If you don't take the time on the front end to make sure that you understand the design, you understand the process, you understand what you're getting, you're going to be spending a lot more time fixing that just because you tried to rush it through. So take the time on the front end. Reorders are a little bit different because we already have everything done. We've got the mold, we've got the art, we've got all of that done. But the first time that we're doing these, you want to make sure that you take the time. That's our video on enamel lapel pins. If you didn't have your questions answered with this, feel free to email us, ask for a quote, give us a call. Ask for some samples. We're happy to send some out to you so you can see them in person. I can really help guide you. Oh man, I didn't even think about doing black metal, but that looked awesome. Samples really help with stuff like this. Seeing it is believing, so ask for those. Click subscribe. Check out our other videos. If you want to get a quote, there should be a button down below with get a quote. Thank you so much. Have a great day.